Yo, is that what I think it is? A box from Amazon on John's, on Ron John, on LeBron, on crayons, on a swan drawn, on Spawn, on Milan, on Milan.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, February 16th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Millis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, two super producers, JD and JK.
How y'all doing?
There they are. What's up, guys? Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Like the vid. Please subscribe. And this will be the final time, I tell you, to join us at our No Dunks live show in Salt Lake City tomorrow night. That's right, Friday, February 17th, 8 p.m. at the Urban Lounge. Hit that link in the show notes and grab yourself a ticket. I'll be there. Tass will be there. JD will be there. Jerome will be there. Trey, we're not sure. He can't get signed into Delta.
I think my boarding pass is good in the Apple Wallet, but we shall see.
Tass just got here, but Trey for the last 10 minutes going, it's not working. I don't know. What's going on here? Why is it not working?
Couldn't get signed in on the phone. Finally got signed in on the computer. Confirmed, checked in.
Nice.
And now I'm on to not being able to sign into the NBA events app.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We'll figure it out.
Step by step.
Yeah, there is a step-by-step for that, actually. I went through it yesterday. We'll go through it.
It's like a QR code.
Yeah, QR code.
Sign in.
How do you scan a QR code with your camera? With your native camera?
You need a buddy.
Yeah, you actually just download the image.
Okay.
And then it opens. Who
Oh,
cares?
excellent. Hey, we'll be in Salt Lake City. We're leaving later today. We got to fly through the show. We got an afternoon flight here, and then we'll have that live show Friday night at the Urban Lounge. We will be flipping that, fingers crossed, into a podcast. No YouTube version of that, though. It's just too much work.
It's going to be dark. You're not even going to be able to see anything, really. It's going to be like an audio podcast that's black.
It's going to sound like shit, too. Our live shows never sound good.
How dare you?
mean,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even promising that we're going to get
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even know.
This is like the dunk contest. Our live shows are like the dunk contest.
Totally.
Super low expectations.
Yes.
And then something might happen and you might be entertained and it might work out. All right. So later on in this podcast, I'm going to put on a jacket and then I'm going to give you guys some NBA All-Star Weekend trivia.
I love jackets.
Yeah. It'll be a great experience for
Good, I love trivia. We're good.
Well, we'll talk about the jacket for like 10 minutes before we get into the trivia.
Yeah, sounds like it for sure.
We are mailing in this show, okay? If you couldn't tell by now. Okay, no, we got some games though. A lot of games on last night. A lot of these teams playing their last game, of course, before the All-Star break. Let's start with one everybody was excited about in the Eastern Conference. The Cavs, Sixers, Joel Embiid, 29 points, helps the Sixers snap the Cavs win streak. But then after the game, we got another headline involving Embiid. He's unsure of his health for the All-Star game. Quote, I'm not healthy. He's got a foot issue. So we could talk about the game if you want there, Tass, a little bit, and then spin it into Embiid and whether or not he's going to play in this All-Star game.
Well, you want to say that we're mailing this show in. I think the Cavs kind of mailed this game in. At the beginning of this game, I think they were just a little overwhelmed. The spotlight a little too bright. This game was for third seed in the Eastern Conference. It's on ESPN, and the Sixers showed that they are the veteran team. Throw out the excuses for the Cavs. 7 games and 11 nights. It just looked like Joel Embiid could do whatever he wanted. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley unable to get comfortable against him whatsoever. They turned the ball over for 7 times in that first half for 13 points. The bench came on and couldn't do a thing. They were just bad. Everybody up and down the roster. I think Darius Garland was all right. But in the end, they came back to make this a respectable score. And I would just chalk it up to a team that has very, very, very little playoff experience in their starting lineup, aside from Donovan Mitchell, against this Sixers team with bright lights here. As I said, they get him one more time in a month, the third game of their season series. That could be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was you want to call it a tale of two halves? Sure, it was. They came back from 28 to make it a 6-point loss. But in the end, they moved it, and there's guys that weren't there off the bench with some veteran experience, and Ricky Rubio, Jetty Osman would have helped. But this was a shellacking. It really was. And hopefully they get that out of their system because this could be a playoff series, and we'll see what they do in a month. But yeah, a bad one for the Cavs especially if it's against an unhealthy Joel Embiid, as he said.
Yeah, and he still had 29 points, 14 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block in, I believe, just under 40 minutes of action there. But yeah, then saying these comments after the game were a little concerning for Sixers fans. I mean, it just sucks that he might not play in the All-Star game for fans. But he says, this has been an issue for a while here, and he's sort of playing through the pain.
And he obviously came into the season with plantar fasciitis. As started slow, took a little time off to get back. He's been on the injury report quite a bit. There have been numerous times where he comes up kind of limping on his foot, says after the game, yeah, I tweaked my same foot. The doctor apparently told him it needed to be 2 weeks a couple of weeks ago. Didn't rest. If he rests now, he could miss games against the Grizzlies, Celtics, and Heat, but also get that nice week off during the All-Star game, which probably would be beneficial, but it makes it really weird for the Sixers then, because they'll be third place in the Eastern Conference going into the All-Star break, and their only representative will be Mac McClung, who has never worn a Philadelphia 76ers jersey.
Right.
So hopefully Embiid guts it out a little bit, plays 5 minutes in the All-Star game or something like that, since he does end up getting the start here, but I thought he did really well last night. Didn't shoot the ball incredibly well. 9 for 21, but he was playing downhill and getting to the rim all the time. Made a whole bunch of free throws, which is how he was able to be efficient as well. And then the Philadelphia supporting player showed up. 10 points for PJ Tucker. I don't know what the Sixers record is when he scores in double digits, but it's got to be good. They also won the bench battle, 30-12. You can see the Sixers definitely have more depth than the Cavs.
Yeah, and B-ball Paul Reed, Hollinger's favorite. It looks like, at least for a couple games here, he's going to get those sort of backup center minutes. They're like giving him a go again because they have Dwayne Dedmon now on this team. They obviously have Montrezl Harrell, but they wanted a big to back up Embiid for a playoff push. And Paul Reed plays, only 10 minutes, but 5 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks. I mean, he had some nice blocks when he first came in, so maybe he's trying to get Doc Rivers' trust that I can be the backup big. And a lot of people like his game. But we'll see moving forward. I guess Dedmon will get a chance here at some point too. Some minutes.
Sure. But coming into the season, the question was the depth in the second unit of the Sixers. And they've balanced it out by putting Tyrese Maxey into the second unit. He is a very, very, very capable guy, a borderline all-star in this league playing with the second unit. So I think he just makes them look a heck of a lot better because the Cavs have a lot of guys off the bench. A couple of them weren't there. But I thought Jalen McDaniels, he doesn't really shoot the ball all that well in this game, but contributing with the energy, the guy that they just got from the Hornets. So the Sixers look like a team ready to go into the postseason. Embiid didn't shoot it well, as you said, but I thought he just controlled this game. And in the fourth, when the Cavs were coming back, they gave it to their star, and they finished the job.
Yeah.
And so the question is, if Embiid sits, do they call on Harden to take his place?
His spot?
And will Harden want to go there?
I was going to say, or is it too late almost? And I
Booked
assume
my trip?
I know a lot of these guys, they're out of here. They hit the island for basically a week now. Would it be Harden? Would it be Brunson? Would it be another big you'd have to talk yourself into in the Eastern Conference? I guess it's possible. I just don't think they will, even if he doesn't play.
Just not bring another representative.
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. I don't think that's ever been done.
But it has to happen. It would have to happen today.
Yeah.
They can handle it, man.
They can cancel the trip.
I don't know if they can log into their Delta apps. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh no!
The question is, will Harden want to go? Would he rather go to a destination? And even the other guy, Jimmy Butler, who even before the 3 guys were announced as the injury replacements, like for Kevin Durant, for instance, before he went out west, will he want to go there? He was next on the list as far as guys who were voted, that accumulative vote.
Yeah.
He could have been called up, but Jimmy never really loves All-Star Weekend. He's sat out All-Star games before. So, it's Salt Lake City versus Vegas. Sometimes you just go just to have a trip. That's your trip. Now they want to go to SLC. And the Sixers point's a good one about they don't have a rep now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who cares about that, though,
Well,
really?
but the front office, the NBA office, we'll say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fans. There are fans of the Sixers.
My gut says he goes to Salt Lake City, Embiid does, and is still a part of the draft and all that, and maybe does a Jimmy Butler and doesn't play a whole lot, I guess couple minutes, even if that.
Sure.
And that's why I don't think we'll get a replacement. If they do, it would be Harden or Brunson, in my opinion. Those would be the two guys at the top of your list if you don't care about obviously a center to replace Embiid. This was his exact quote, by the way. I haven't been healthy for the past 3 weeks or months. I was just trying to get to the All-Star break without missing games and stuff. But I feel like I've reached the point where I need to follow the doctor's advice. Back then, he said I should have been sitting for 2 weeks. So we'll see how the next few days go and go from there. So, 3 or 4 weeks ago, the doctor's telling him, you should probably sit down for a couple weeks here with this foot injury. And he wanted to fight it out, help his team obviously get up these standings, maybe the MVP, all that. But maybe he takes a week off here now. Probably should. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he will.
You think, yeah?
There, yeah. Nah, I think so. And he should.
Let's get to some other news from this game about the Cavaliers. Cavs, Kevin Love finalizing a contract buyout. The Heat have emerged as a suitor, according to Shams at The Athletic. One of you called this. I gave you the buyout boys list, and we got into just a quick debate. There were reports that Kevin Love was not going to agree to a buyout, but it was at UTK that was like, nah, I think, he's obviously out of the rotation now. He might be looking for minutes and to join a team and play all that. And that's what's happening here. A little shocking. I mean, I obviously thought, I believe the reports, and I thought the Cavs, who are going to be heading into a playoff series, I thought they could use Kevin Love as like a third big in potential series to stretch the floor and all that. So that part was wild to me.
Yeah, this could actually end up being a little bit of a mistake for the Cavs, I think. Like, Kevin Love had a great season last year, 13.5 a game, shot 40% from three, basically was in the sixth man of the year conversation, and it just hasn't been the case at all this year. He's averaging 8.5 a game and just hasn't been in the rotation for a long time, but it's the end of an era. He's the last guy on the Cavs from the 2016 championship squad, so that's kind of weird, but I think Miami would be a decent place for him. They've got a roster spot, and they definitely have a need. They've been starting Caleb Martin the entire season. Just traded Dwayne Dedmon. Orlando Robinson is their backup big right now. He's on a two-way contract. And then, of course, they have Udonis Haslem as well. If you're the Heat, you're looking for a buyout guy to kind of help, you can talk yourself into a Kevin Love, I think. He's going to shoot threes, obviously. He's got playoff experience, obviously. The question with Kevin Love is reliability. Last year, play-in loss to the Nets, 14 points, 13 rebounds off the bench. Really nice. In the playoff play-in loss to the Hawks, 3 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. He's at the end of his career, obviously, but as a buyout guy, you're not going to do much better if you're Miami.
Yeah, the Heat have a lot of guys that are sort of at the end of the rotation, G League two-way type guys, so it would make sense for them to go get somebody. He hasn't shot well the last 20 games when he has been on the floor, and a lot of it has been he's been off the floor because of back spasms, so he's shot 32% from three the last 20 games. The Cavs are just playing other guys, and they have enough depth to be playing other guys. Mobley's sort of their backup five. They've got Cedi Osman, Karis LeVert. Now they've got Danny Green if he wants to play off the bench. They've got Ricky Rubio off the bench. They've just got a lot of guys that could take his minutes, and they've chose Dean Wade because Kevin Love just hasn't been shooting all that well. So it is odd. It also takes Westbrook off the board for the Miami Heat, it feels like. If there's any suitors out there for Russell Westbrook,
which
we
apparently
got now,
there's not, is the latest report.
Well, he hasn't been released or bought out by the Jazz yet, and he's talking to them. So who is it? I think it just gives a better hope here that he goes to the Chicago Bulls because it's either the Clippers. Paul George has pined for him. Hey, come on over. We used to be teammates, but it doesn't seem like he's going there. Looks like Chicago's the last team that might want him.
Maybe. And what about LeBron James trying to get his boy to LA in Kevin Love instead of Miami? Come join me. You can help us get into the play-in. No? You think it's more likely Miami? Just because of the minutes opportunity behind Bam. A little slot.
LA's deep now.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I hope Westbrook and Kevin Love find their way to Miami, because I saw a tweet going around last night. I apologize for not remembering who tweeted it, but like, if that happens, you can already see one of those Instagram like NBA accounts with the 5 photoshops of like Lowry, Butler, Bam, Russ, and Kevin Love. Who's gonna stop these guys?
Stopping these guys.
You can see it now. You can already see the Photoshop in your head if they get there. But
they're also roommates in college.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Like 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah, Kevin Love, 9 seasons he played in Cleveland. 15
That's been
years.
a long time. Yeah, he had what a weird tenure that he had in Cleveland, coming in. the trade for Andrew Wiggins, obviously.
Yep.
There was a lot of fit in, fit out drama with LeBron. Once upon a time, they signed him to the deal after LeBron was gone to LA, just keeping somebody around for the good vibes. It was bad vibes for Kevin Love, but he stuck around long enough that the Cavs are good again. Amazing stuff.
Yep, two-time All-Star there in Cleveland. Got the championship, of course, in 2016. Though Abby Mueller, I saw tweeting, Kevin Love will be remembered for many things on the court, but his legacy for speaking about mental health might be his most important thing. And if you haven't read that article, what's that site again? That the
Players Tribune?
Players Tribune, thank you. Seek that out. Love and DeRozan, I would say, at the top of pushing mental health. Let's keep it going here, though. Mikal Bridges scores a career-high 45 as the Nets beat the Heat 116-105. This guy on fire. Took over. Scored 15 straight to break open a very close game. And again, 45. Just his previous career high was like 34, so he smashed that. This guy is a future All-Star, is he not?
Well, he can obviously do it once every few games. They're going to do it by committee, that's for sure. But he showed that he's got the All-Star pull-up game at times. I mean, sometimes the pull-up game, creating his own shot, it went awry. There were some bricks in there, but he doesn't force anything, and that's why he had such a ridiculously efficient night to get there. And he did it to Jimmy Butler. At the beginning of the game, he did it in the fourth quarter, and he obviously has the size to get his shot off whenever he does create some space for himself.
He's got a high release, too.
Yeah, and he's huge. So he had 28 going into the fourth, and he was flowing. A nice no call where he gave it to Gabe Vincent right in the chest, a very soft give to the chest. Gabe Vincent flopped, and then Mikal Bridges scored. And then he had 30, and then he just kept flowing, and they kept going to him. And he is the one guy that has that ability. We've likened him to sort of an OG Anunoby. I said, I hope I'm wrong. I think he's got the capability to do this every once in a while. And if you're counting on him to be the number one guy, I don't know how well it's going to go. But this team is just ridiculously likable. Even if their ceiling isn't as high without Durant and Kyrie Irving, they're more likable. And they're going to do it by committee, and they're going to get better defensively. Since the trade, they've been 25th in defense, and that's going to be their strong suit. So they can get better. Mm-hmm. And that was a big win against the Nets. The Heat, I should say. Sorry. The Nets are now in fifth. Heat dropped to the play-in tournament, and they own the tiebreaker. Let's talk tiebreakers over the Miami Heat. So that's big for them if they want to hold on to this playoff spot.
What did you think of Bridges there last night?
I thought that was a super impressive performance because he wasn't just playing off the ball. He got a lot of baskets, like wide open three-point looks that were just good ball movement from the Nets. He also scored on cuts.
Yep.
That's kind of the way he usually goes about getting his buckets. But like Taz said, he was putting the ball on the floor. He was bumping Jimmy Butler off spots. Gabe Vincent, obviously way too small to be guarding Mikal Bridges, can just shoot right over the top of him. The Nets' ball movement was really solid last night, 26 assists. They hit 17 threes. I think Mikal Bridges said he'd never scored 40 points in a game in his life.
Yeah.
Guy's a NBA player. What about high school, man?
I know.
Who knows? Maybe they were on a really good team. Maybe he was the number 2 option then. So, Bridges, a lot of guys make all-star teams. He could be one of them.
Yeah, he absolutely could. I mean, right now, it's small sample size, but in 3 games since being traded to the Nets, he's averaging 25, 6 and 3 on that team. It does highlight why Brooklyn were pretty adamant about him being in the trade for Kevin Durant. They obviously saw the potential. And I think he was helped out in playing for Phoenix this year when Booker was out, when Chris Paul was out. He got a little more experience being sort of the main guy. Now, it didn't go well there for a week or so. Then he sort of unlocked it, but showed that ability to play make, to put the ball on the floor a little bit. He reminds me a little bit of Chris Middleton. The way he goes about scoring, I see some similarities there, but he does have that crazy high, like sort of sheet release to him. Super lanky. Great game. He's the 4th net to score 45 points in a game this season. Kevin Durant, back in November. Kyrie Irving in January. Cam Thomas, obviously that little stretch he went on in early February, and now Mikal Bridges, February 15th, last night. Wild. No other team in NBA history has had 4 45-point scores in the same season. Shout out to Statitudes for that fun one. But, yeah, what a game from him. And good win there. Like you said, Tass, you just went through it. In terms of the races and all that and seeding, this could be an important one between these teams, whether or not the Heat can ultimately pass them.
Yeah, and they have guys who can perform. Listen, we shouldn't expect even 25 or 30 from Mikal Bridges every game. He scored 23, 7, and now 45 in his 3 games since coming over. So I think you got to pump the brakes a little bit, but he has the ability. I think, yeah, sometimes he's even a little too quick, moves a little too fast, and he's out of control when he's shooting. And I don't know if you can rely on him to be a number one guy at all times, but they have a bunch of guys on that team that could take over. Spencer Dinwiddie had a quiet night in this game with a 9-point game. He can take over in the fourth. They look like they had more options than the Heat in this game because they can. They've got a couple guys that can.
LeBron, Anthony Davis get the new look Lakers past the Pelicans. Let's talk about LA here. Yes, they're all playing together. All these guys coming over at the trade deadline. LeBron back in the lineup. He's got to get one game in before the All-Star game, shake the rust off so he can go dominate on Sunday. What'd you think of the Lakers last night beating the Pels? Pretty dominant victory.
They look like a great team. We'll see what happens in their next game. But the first time together for LeBron and D'Angelo Russell, it seemed like a great 1-2 punch. Sort of my turn, your turn, handling the ball, and it worked perfectly, and they're setting up Anthony Davis. It was quite harmonious. We'll see what happens next game. It was really nice. I mean, from the first play where they handed it off to each other. Yeah, it was a perfect first quarter, an 8-0 run to start the game, and New Orleans got back into it. But yeah, it was a perfect night. It really was. We'll see them in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, they look like a real team. I think that's the biggest compliment you can say. 2018 just keeps coming back to mind because after the Cavs pulled their moves to bring in your Jordan Clarkson, your Larry Nance Jr., they smoked the Celtics, who were ahead of them in the standings, won by 22. Kevin Garnett said, "Y'all look so different." They did make it to the NBA Finals, but the team wasn't it. This looks better, though. Mo Bamba, I thought, was pretty solid off the bench as well. And Tass is right. There's clearly chemistry already between D'Angelo Russell and LeBron. In transition, Russell's looking for him all the time to hit it ahead. It means LeBron can just run the court, doesn't necessarily have to bring the ball up. And then in the pick and roll, they were pretty solid as well. LeBron catching alley-oops a few times last night. That was as good of a start as you could hope for. Now finally seeing all these dudes on the court together.
It's tough not to watch them, especially last night with everybody in there now, looking like more of a team because they have more pieces. It's tough not to go, man, should Pelinka have done this earlier? Like earlier in the season to get pieces in here? Or were they sitting on those... The one pick obviously goes out with Westbrook, but were they sitting on those future picks because they were hoping a big name would come available, like a Lillard or a Beal,
a Durant,
a Kyrie, of course. Like, I wonder if that was part of their equation, and that's why, and maybe they just wanted to give it more time. But like, I guess my point is, if they had all these guys all season, they're not in the 13th spot in the Western Conference. That's not a bold statement by any means. Now, they're 27-32. They're still in 13th. They're 2 games out of the 10th seed, final spot in the play-in, but they're only 3.5 games out of the 6th seed. So they have to just have a great winning percentage from here on out to get out of even the play-in in there, and it's more likely they'll have to win their way in. But yeah, they look like a team, and I was happy to see D'Angelo Russell have a good game. I'm sort of cheering for him, oddly. I don't know why. I guess we've talked about it, like he fluctuates between overrated and maybe then he got underrated and where he falls in the spectrum of point guards in the league. But the best part is he's playing with LeBron. He's a combo guard. He doesn't need to be the point guard. So maybe that'll work for him.
We'll see how it works in fourth quarters because they didn't even have to play a fourth quarter in this game. So will he want to be that combo guard? Will he allow LeBron to go off? Hopefully that's the case. But also, LeBron, these last how many games? 20 games of the season, is he going to play each one? I mean, he wants to be comfortable going into the postseason because they know that they need him to be obviously amazing. So, how much chemistry are they going to develop? Number one. Number two, what is their record going to be these last 20 games? We've seen him miss 3 straight games now because he needs to rest because he's been doing it for 20 seasons. So it's a big time uphill climb for this team.
Other Western Conference wins last night. Jeff Green helping the Nuggets go into the All-Star break with a 118-109 win over the Mavericks. Good win there for the Nuggets. Another triple-double for Jokic. We had Jackson Jr. and Bane leading the Grizzlies over the Jazz, 117-111. And SGA scoring 29 as the Thunder crushed the Rockets.
That was a big one.
The Spurs are on like a 14-game losing streak, and the Houston Rockets still have, I believe, the worst record in the NBA, which is a little wild.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, so hell of a tank battle going on. But any thoughts on the Nugs, the Grizz, or the Thunder picking up dubs?
Nuggets broadcast was again making the case that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope needs to be in the three-point contest. Can't disagree, man. He should replace Anthony Simons. Made 3 threes last night, KCP did. And the Nuggets are the best 3-point percentage team in the league.
Sure.
KCP third in percentage. Give him a call. Give him a call. Let the boy shoot. I like that. The other takeaway I had was, obviously, the Thunder rolled on the Rockets. The best part about this, though, was afterwards, a reporter asked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander about his Instagram captions and how long it takes him to make them. 15 minutes. He just sits and brainstorms. No collaboration. He said, I'm a lyricist. So I was like, okay, I got to check this out. He can't just be talking about Himmy Carter.
No.
Something like that. So my favorite one I saw recently was, they fill the seats, I fill the stat sheets. They said I had big shoes to fill. Good thing I have bigger feet. The night he wore the big red boots.
Yeah.
Bars.
So, okay, I've seen these before. I thought they were literally like rap lyrics that he was just pulling from, but
I would have thought
writing
so too.
them. Oh, wow. All right.
He's a lyricist.
Jesus.
No help from anyone.
Well, so he should have been on the all hunk team then. He's a poet. Imagine those cards you would get from him. Any thoughts on any of those 3 wins?
Yeah, we had some fun post-game moments. We got SGA right in his bars. I thought the Michael Malone Denver Nuggets handing out of the chains happens in Denver's locker room, and they film it every single night. He gave out 2 chains, one to Michael Porter Jr., who was happy to get his. I'm not sure what they're for. I think it's like, defensive intensity or whatever. And then Jeff Green got one, and he was pumped.
Oh, he should be.
You could see he is the emotional leader, the sort of the guy that people love in that locker room, just that vet. And he was excited. He was walking up to Michael Malone like, give me the cheers, a real Hulk Hogan situation. So that was pretty neat. Also, we didn't talk about the Jared Allen moment. Did you see the Jared Allen moment? Speaking of funny moments, Jared Allen, in that Cleveland Cavaliers game, there was a defensive 3-second call against the Cavs, an infraction against the Cavs, where he got excited. He got super excited to get called for a foul. It happened twice. He went up to the camera. He went up to almost mid-court, and he screamed, "Yeah!" Why is he yelling? I think he thinks it's hilarious that a defensive 3-second is called at any point, but it happened twice. ESPN was ready for it. We're not going to show it to you because we respect copyright issues. But he went up, and Kevin Love ran from the bench all the way to mid-court to join Jared Allen on the floor to cheer. Yeah. It's I don't know what it was, and nobody knows what it was.
Did nobody ask him after?
Well,
the
they
game?
said that Jeff Van Gundy said we got to get a sideline reporter on it. Well, we got to go talk to him. Why is he cheering? I think he's sort of sarcastically mocking the officials for calling a defensive 3-second. Why the hell are you calling that? Anyway, the other game here, Memphis. Almost lost to the Utah Jazz. No Lowry Markkanen in this game. They're starting all hunk Ochai Agbaji. Okay.
Yep.
He is a rook that's hasn't played a lot. Kelly Olynyk, Walker Kessler, Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, who went out in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
They've really ripped apart their team, and they almost beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Speaks a lot to how hard they fight. But also the Grizzlies, I know we like to put them in tiers every quarter of the season. We're going to do it, I'm sure, at the 3-quarter mark. We've always had the Memphis Grizzlies in the championship contender or the Final Four contenders,
right.
But
one of the top two.
It's worrisome for the Memphis Grizzlies the way they execute down the stretch. Cavs and the Grizzlies, I think they in different ways. Cavs like to dig big holes, and then they get Donovan Mitchell to try and pull them out of it. The Grizzlies, they can get up with their fast breaks, but their half-court offense is lacking. So it's worrisome, I think, for them. I don't know if they have enough punch to get to the NBA Finals. We'll talk about it as we re-tier soon, I'm sure.
Okay. And Colin Sexton, like you said, leaving the game. I don't know how bad this injury is, but who replaces him in the skills challenge if he can't go on Saturday night? It's got to be a Jazz player. So does Lowry Markkanen have to go?
Kessler's in, right?
Kessler and is it Clark? No.
Taylor Horton-Tucker?
No, I already forget. Is it
Clarkson?
Yeah, maybe it was Clarkson.
He's got
it was Kessler, Clarkson, and Sexton.
I don't know. They just traded Nikhil Alexander-Walker away. That would have been perfect.
I think Lowry Markkanen's going to have to do it. He's going to have to do double duty on Saturday night in the three-point contests if Sexton can't go. But maybe he can still throw a ball through a hoop. All right, Eastern Conference wins 4 of them. Tatum, 38 points, so he's back. So is Smarty at 6 steals. Celtics rolled past the Pistons, 127-109. Jalen Brunson still on fire. He scored 28. Randall had 25. Vibes are great with the New York Knicks right now. Bing bong. They beat the Hawks, 122-101. Buddy Hield, I know probably going to be a lot of people's picks to pick to win the three-point contest. He helped the Pacers rally from 24 down to beat your Chicago Bulls.
How are the vibes there?
They are very bad in Chicago. 117-113. And LaMelo Ball, this guy is having a very quiet, great season stats-wise. He had another triple-double. Hornets handed the Spurs, as I said earlier, their 14th loss in a row.
And had an absolutely gorgeous ball handling moment.
He did.
In slow-mo, which the only problem for me was once I saw it in slow-mo, it gave me a chance to realize he's just saucing on Doug McDermott. So, I mean, sweet moves, but you're picking on a guy a little bit there. Spurs, though, they've had an 11-game losing streak and a 14-game losing streak. And like you said, they're somehow still not the worst record in the league. Incredible stuff. The Pacers have lost 16 of their last 19 games. 2 of the wins are coming back from 20-plus down against Chicago. Pretty brutal stuff. The Bulls have lost 5 straight. They lost to the Magic and the Pacers this week. Nikola Vucevic gave a very depressing interview where he's like, well, I guess with the way things going, the goal is the play-in tournament right now. They're going to have to start winning some games. And tonight, something sad may happen.
Tonight?
Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
It is the ultimate test.
Yeah, here we go.
Of the TNT Bulls streak. They've won 20 straight games when they are the home team on TNT. They haven't played in a few years.
20 straight.
20 straight. And tonight, they host the Milwaukee Bucks on the second night of a back-to-back.
Here we go.
Bulls by 16.
Oh, wow. The streak continues.
The streak continues.
That is amazing. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Okay. This was
team's bad.
Saucy one. You look at every team blows 20-point leads. I think it's probably happened for every single team this year. But when you see the graphic of biggest blown leads of the season, and there's 8 teams on there, and 5 of them are Bulls games, that's pretty sad.
Yes, I'm looking at it now. 3 of the 8 biggest leads blown belong to the Bulls. It's hard to do. I mean, it's not easy. So 3 of the top 8, they're taking up the whole graphic, really.
But do you believe in the power of the
No.
TNT home Bulls?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, this feels like their playoff series from last year. It's not going to be good.
Well, they did win 1 game.
Yeah, they did. And they lost 4.
Yeah, they did. But they were at home when they won, weren't they?
Nope.
Oh,
No,
they
they did beat the Bucks at home. They beat the Bucks with Giannis, and they beat the Bucks at home this year, so that's exciting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, cool,
Well, we'll see
cool,
tonight
yeah.
what happens
Bulls by
there.
6.
Any other thoughts on those games? Celtics, Knicks, taking care of business here.
Hey, it's nice to see James Wiseman out there. A new lease on life, playing with his buddy Isaiah Stewart, who they used to play high school against each other apparently, and they're trying to help each other out. I hope James Wiseman is reinvigorated there in Detroit. But yeah, good to see all the big Celtics come back. Jason Tatum had 38 points back from that illness, so
I guess
that was a
Horford was back
steamroll.
too, right?
Yeah.
Smart's back
and
as well.
Marcus Smart.
No, he was awesome.
Rounded into form. Derek White even played. He's got a hole in his eardrum. Wow. They said he had to stay in Milwaukee after that game, right? Because some kind of a collision. Turns out to be a hole in his right eardrum. That's a rest one for me. I would have been fine with Derek White sitting this one out, especially with Marcus Smart coming back. But he's been balling lately, so he's like, I gotta ride the wave while I can.
Yeah, I know. I can't. Sounds gross.
Sounds bad,
Sounds
man.
like painful,
Yeah.
but I guess he can play through it. Wild. Let's take our first break. When we come back, some random All-Star Weekend trivia. Don't go anywhere. We talk a lot of numbers on this show. Points and rebounds per game, true shooting percentages, PER, defensive rating, clutch scoring. Heck, our pick'em lines, really, when you think about it. Those are numbers. Lots of stats on this show. Well, I got one more for you. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of erectile dysfunction in their life. 52%. That's hold on here. Beep, bop, boop, bop, bop. That's more than half of men over 40 experiencing this. Crazy. The good news is, if you're experiencing ED, there's help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men. They offer genuine, FDA-approved medication for as little as $4 per dose. At Roman, no waiting rooms, no hassle. Just a straightforward, convenient, digital experience, which means you can take care of it all from the comfort of your home. Getting started, very simple. Grab your laptop, grab your phone, and start your free online visit. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman sends it to your door with free 2-day shipping, and everything arrives in a discreet package, so no problems there. And right now, Roman has a special offer for our listeners. Use this link to get 20% off your first order. Just go to ro.co/athletic today. That's ro.co/athletic for 20% off.
This classic podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/nodunks today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/nodunks.
All right, here in the Classic Factory, got my big jacket on. It's going to be the only time I wear that. For the podcast listeners, I've got a very vintage 1997 All-Star Weekend jacket on that apparently is signed by Michael Jordan. We have no idea if it's really Michael Jordan's signature or not, but we'll go with it. Shout out to Jared for handing me this jacket. He didn't want it in his house. I was saying I felt for a second like when I put the hood up, if I had sunglasses on, I feel like I'm in the Rihanna Super Bowl halftime show.
I got a picture here, JD, that I'm casting to you. DeMar DeRozan wore a winter jacket, and there was a hilarious picture taken of him in the locker room afterwards, and because of the angle, it looks like he's wearing basically the Missy Elliott, the Rain, black outfit, and this looks exactly like Skeets in his gigantic puffer jacket.
Thing.
Are you casting it?
I thought I was
Michelin
casting.
Man here.
Let me cast it up here. Classic Factory TV available. Casting. The tab is a casting.
All right, let's see this. Oh, yeah,
It's a big old jacket.
It is a big old jacket. I mean, I think this is bigger, to be honest.
Yeah. Is that a fisheye lens or?
Like,
Wow.
it actually, lengthwise, it's a small, believe it or not, but it's just like, why is there so much arm space? Anyway.
That's how it was. We were all doing steroids in the 90s. Big biceps.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, eh? Like the backs.
NBA staff. It's just an all-star weekend jacket.
I just wanted to have a reason, to throw this on. Because I want to give you guys some All-Star Weekend trivia. All right, play along if you're joining us live here on YouTube. And if you're listening later or watching later, play by yourself. Okay? First one. Somebody's saying, I really should pair this big jacket with those big red boots.
There's a lot of good lines here.
Power look.
Skeets looks like a QB waiting for his team to get the ball back. Looks like the Shazam muscle suit. Sarah Gray says it looks like a bouncy house is being filled up with air about to swallow you.
I feel like the Michelin Man, or like the marshmallow guy in Ghostbusters. I feel invincible though. Like I want to fight you guys right now. I want to tackle you, bounce around. Okay. Anyway, some trivia questions here. Just some random ones. Okay. First one. How many teams have at least one NBA All-Star selection this year? What'd you guess?
You mean like that ever made the All-Star team?
How many teams are
Or
represented
current
in the All-Star game this year?
Okay.
24.
Okay.
It's high.
So,
but-
am I allowed to look? I mean, look at the teams? No, I won't.
I mean, it's one guy from a lot of teams. That's why I went pretty high.
Yeah, so doubling up. We only have
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Kings now.
Celtics.
Kings
now. Okay.
Yeah, good call. Way to talk it out.
22.
Way to get there, guys. I like Tass set the bar at 24.
Yep.
You talked it through. 22.
Nice.
And the reason I asked it, it's a single season record. Pretty crazy.
Just
Like, that's a
surprising,
lot when
yeah.
you do think about it, because I think there's more times where we have multiple teammates, or
sure.
at least over the last little bit. 22 teams right now, at least, represented. Okay. This one, I told you these are random. Which All-Star is set to become the first player to start an All-Star game on his birthday? And I asked this specifically to Trey Kirby.
Nikola Jokic.
Correct. Because it's also Trey Kirby's birthday
That's right.
on Sunday, the All-Star game. Yeah, Jokic turns 28 on February 19th. He's going to be the first one to ever start the All-Star game on his birthday.
I mean, that's actually kind of surprising.
Yeah,
So other guys have been reserves.
maybe.
And they never had an All-Star game in the 90s on February 17th, apparently. Jordan's birthday.
Yeah.
Or February 20th.
That probably makes sense, though, because
Yeah.
it was a little different.
A little earlier.
The mapped out. Okay, the calendar. Okay, who has the highest scoring average in NBA All-Star game history? And I'll give you a hint. It's a current player.
Current player, not a current All-Star.
No, I didn't say that.
Could be a current All-Star.
I think it's LeBron.
No, it's not.
No.
Nice.
Giannis?
Bingo! Giannis. 29 points per game in the All-Star game. He's played enough, too,
Yeah.
I guess, at this point, whatever he's played. What's this? Is this his 6th or 7th
Got
All-Star? Somewhere around there. Okay. Good job.
7th time.
Okay, this is about the dunk contest. We were talking about Jericho Sims recording a 44.5-inch max vertical jump at the 21 NBA Draft Combine. That's tied for the third highest mark in event history. Do you know who holds the record? Current player, also happened at the 21 Draft Combine. By no means an all-star. You know, he's yet to really find his way here in the league, but he recorded a 48-inch max vertical jump at the 21 Draft Combine.
Kuminga?
Nope. This is tough. This is a very tough one. He currently,
21.
I'm going to give you this. He played for the Clippers. He currently plays
Keon
for the
Johnson?
Blazers.
There you go.
Well
Nice.
done. Well done. 48 inches, which is a record. Good job. It's been 30 years since All-Star Weekend was held in Salt Lake City. Who was named the 93 All-Star Game MVP?
1993. I'm thinking like I'm trying to remember who won the game.
Yeah, don't worry about
Who could
that.
it be?
That was before the Glen Rice.
I will tell you this, though. It was a unique circumstance, what was going on for that All-Star Game MVP. Give you that hint.
Magic Johnson?
No.
Oh, that was what, 92?
Yeah, I believe so.
Unique circumstance.
Yeah.
huh?
Why do I say that?
Unique circumstance. 1993, he'd just been traded to the Phoenix Suns. Was it Charles Barkley?
You may want to pluralize he.
Malone and Stockton?
Bingo. Karl Malone and
yes,
John
yes.
Stockton got
Yes.
it in Salt Lake
Yes,
City.
indeed they did.
Yes. How many original Dream Team members played in that 93 All-Star game? What do you got? Count them out.
11.
Everybody but Leitner.
A little too high on 11.
Okay.
A little too high.
Mullen.
Larry Bird would have been retired, right?
Correct. No Bird. No Leitner.
No Magic.
No Magic.
So we're down to 9. No Mullen. He had a bad season.
No, you're
That's
9.
9?
9 is the
Niner?
answer. Good
Yeah.
job. Way to take them out. Barkley, Drexler, Ewing, Jordan, Malone, Mullen, Pippen, David Robinson, and John Stockton. 9 original Dream Teamers in that 93 All-Star game. Okay. Let's talk about the shooters. Let me try and shoot in this jacket. Not easy. I feel like Desmond Bain. Muscles.
Imagine somebody going into the contest wearing that.
Hey, Brent Barry, let's see you shooting this.
Yeah,
Hey,
Brent Barry
the dunk
dunking in an
contest.
easy jacket. Larry Bird did a short sleeve warm up shirt.
Yeah.
Shooting a winter jacket. Let's see
Shooting
who's really
this.
got the release.
With an NBA staff on it. Who won the 93 three-point shootout? Any idea?
Craig
Hodges.
Not Hodges. This person did go on to win next year in Minnesota as well.
Legler.
Not Legs. He only won one.
Was this guy horny?
This guy was not horny.
Oh.
Also a little bit later. This guy, I don't know if he's actually horny.
Mark Price?
Bingo.
Not horny.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, too taciturn.
Mark Price, he won in 93 in Salt Lake City, and then he won again in Minnesota the next year. And that's really all I have, but I thought I'd do one more little fun game here about the dunk contest. I want to give you the dunker, and you have to tell me the dumb prop they used.
Oh, cool.
All right?
Cool.
Let's test your dunk contest knowledge. Again, play along here. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. Jeremy Evans, 2013.
Painted himself.
Self-portrait. That's right. I mean, it was sort of at the time. I guess it got a pop. Like, it was like, whoa.
It wasn't a bad
he
painting.
jumped over a painting and then unveiled it, and the painting was him jumping over the painting. Like, it was Inception, so it wasn't that bad. He won that year, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. How about, wow, this one's easy. John Collins, 2019, in Charlotte, the home of aviation.
Big shout out to my guys Orville and Wilbur Wright. He jumped over a plane, kind of.
Yeah.
He jumped over most of a plane.
He jumped through that plane.
Yeah. He clipped it.
Hit that
He
wing.
still got the dunk down. I
Yeah.
think that is forgotten that he did clip the plane pretty significantly. Took off a bit of the wing, but he dunked it. But yeah, that model airplane that at first he was gonna dunk in the aviator goggles, and he had the hat, and he had a scarf, but then he had to take off the goggles because he couldn't see. Poorly thought out, I think, that one. But anyway, how about Serge Ibaka, 2011? What prop did Serge use? A notable prop.
Like, I don't know what it was. A stuffed animal hanging on the rim. Oh, Serge, my stuffed animal, it's stuck on the rim. Can you get it? Yeah, it's just gonna take me 2 times.
I had forgotten about the whole kid part of can you get my teddy bear from the rim? He dunked and grabbed it with his mouth off the rim. They had this little suction cup thing for this little teddy bear. Serge grabbed it and dunked it.
How hungry is he? He ate it.
That's good. That's very good. All right. How about Aaron Gordon, 2017? Which dumb prop? Now, Aaron Gordon has some of the greatest dunks in dunk contest history. But what was the dumb prop?
Drone, no?
The drone. Yes. Yeah. That was stupid. Or it just didn't work. Remember that? They couldn't get the timing right.
Yeah.
It was all messed up. Yeah.
Wasn't he trying to have it drop from the drone, hit
Bounce,
the ground, and then do it?
Yep. I thought he ultimately did that. I thought he pulls
Yeah,
it off
maybe
in the
gets
end,
it
but it took
eventually.
way too long, and it was very anticlimactic and all that. DeAndre Jordan, same dunk contest, 2017. What dumb prop?
Did DeAndre Jordan dunk over DJ tables? DJ Khaled, DJ tables? Another one.
Yeah, DJ Khaled at the turntables with DJ Khaled going live on probably Snapchat
he's
or
big on
something,
Snap.
whatever it was, and yeah, he dunked over him. I mean, he's not a tall guy as it is, but that was a weird one. Okay, a couple more. Derek Williams, 2012. It was really anticlimactic because it's not that crazy a thing for a professional athlete to jump over.
2012.
Chair? I don't remember this at all.
No,
Chair's pretty-
Chairs, we've seen that obviously a bunch of times. No, it was a mode of transportation.
Is this a motorcycle man?
It was Motorcycle Man. Just jumped over a motorcycle. I think the mascot brought it out and then just left it there, and he just did a windmill. He sort of did a windmill,
Was he Timberwolves at the time?
I think so.
So that wolf rode a
Crunch.
motorcycle out? That probably looked cool. A motorcycle being ridden by a mascot. I like that. But so Blake Griffin had jumped over a Kia prior. And I mean, I know
Right,
the Blake
right.
Griffin doesn't get looked back on very fondly, but if
No.
a guy jumps over a car, you cannot go to a smaller form of transportation.
Right.
You got to go to an airplane, John Collins style, or a train.
Train.
We haven't seen it yet.
Or have the guy from I Think You Should Leave, the motorcycle guy, be out there. Whoa!
They should get Tim Robinson to just do every one of his bits next to it. DeAndre Jordan comes out, he dumps over DJ Khaled's tables. He's like, "Don't ask about the tables."
Yeah.
What's DJ Khaled's job? Tables.
You could do
Kind of is his job.
someone when they put on
Yeah.
too much mass or this jacket. You could do the Carmine Luguzio. Get the shit off me. I don't want to be around anymore. Final one. Oh, super easy. I shouldn't have saved this one to last. Cole Anthony. Last year.
Boots. The
Boots. I bring that one up. He dunked in the Timbs. Will someone dunk in the Big Red Boots this year?
Ooh, I mean, they're buzzing right now.
Buzzing.
Just came out this morning for us commoners.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
it's definitely possible. I think
Yeah.
that you're going to at least see a lot of those boots around this weekend.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, how many people sitting courtside at some point in Salt Lake City this weekend will have those boots on?
Maybe we record a short over the course of the weekend. We just have our phone with us anytime we see somebody wearing the boots. Killer boots, man.
Yeah, good.
Killer
good call.
boots, man. Killer boots, man.
Who would most be likely to try and dunk in the dunk contest in these big red boots? Is it Mac? Is it
Trey Murphy?
Trey Murphy?
I'll say this. KJ Martin, his uniform would match as a Rocket.
Good call.
So that would look nice for him.
It's sort of like fits like the Rockets, like sort of spacesuit sort of vibe, Astro
Boy.
boot. Yeah.
Astro World.
Oh,
Travis
yeah.
Scott.
If you threw down a good dunk in those and like you named it like the Astro Boy dunk.
Put on the boots, dunk over Travis Scott. He's a Houston Rockets fan. Free idea right there. There's a 50.
All right, there it is. Oh, what a segment, eh? That's how you do it. That's how you do it on the show before we go to All-Star Weekend.
Did you decide if you're packing your Timbs yet for Salt Lake City?
No boots for
It
me.
says no boots.
No boots. It's cold. Check the weather.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold in Salt Lake City, especially at night. Bringing a big old jacket. Not this one, basically. But I'm bringing another jacket. I got to say, this jacket, it's got the stench from 1997.
It smells like the 97.
Because I don't think they want to wash it because of, again,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, no big deal. Or some guy, Lee Ellis signing this as Michael Jordan, no big deal. Yeah, but no boots. Ultimately, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. After smelling that jacket, I'm thinking I got to go get my big jacket as well. I got to go get a big jacket.
You didn't bring a jacket?
Who needs a jacket? Of course I'm bringing it.
Oh, okay. You scared me, Josh. I don't know. Yeah.
It's sub-zero out there.
Yeah, very cold, very
It's
cold.
winter.
I'm pumped. All right, let's wrap this show up so we can get to Salt Lake City. Final break. When we come back, pick 'em results, tweet of the night. Don't go anywhere.
I did a little online shopping the other day. I bought a sweater that has a shawl collar. A shawl call. Better call shawl. No matter what your goods are, hopefully they're legal. Keep yourself competitive with ShipStation. In a landscape where free and fast shipping is the norm, it can be hard for smaller e-commerce businesses to compete. When you use ShipStation, you can lower shipping costs, make returns easy, and keep your customers happy. Shipping costs are the #1 cause of abandoned carts. I only bought my shawl call because I got to that free shipping threshold. It's the only way I was going to buy it.
Oh, yeah?
And it got to me just in time. I hope to be wearing that shawl call in Salt Lake City this weekend. It's going to be a perfect fit. Cold weather, warm neck. Anyways, it saved me from being worried about what I'm wearing. And with ShipStation, all the time you save from automating your shipping tasks will help you stop worrying. Running a business can be stressful, but using ShipStation isn't. There's a free trial and quick setup, so now's the time to try it out. ShipStation makes it easy to grow your business by handling your orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. ShipStation effortlessly integrates everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. Automate routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery time to optimize your every shipment and automate delivery notifications. Get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. And if that's not enough, use this promo code to try it out free for 2 months. Use promo code NODUNKS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code NODUNKS. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation.
All right, back here in the Classic Factory, we got some sort of breaking news here during the show. We were talking All-Star Weekend, so this is perfect. Julius Randle expected to replace Anthony Simons in the three-point contest.
Unexpected.
There you go.
Curveball.
Yeah, quite the curveball. Didn't want to fly anybody else in, I'm
You're
telling
right.
you.
You're
I was right.
Flights are booked. Can't log in.
Randle's there already for the
You got your
All-Star
boarding
game.
pass? You're in the three-point contest.
So Julius Randle's going to go in it. Do you think if I wear this jacket to Salt Lake City, like to the arena, like because it says NBA staff, they'll just be like, "Come on through, sir."
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Looks
You're
like a new jacket.
They're like, "Damn, this guy's been
This guy's been smoking
installing
cigarettes
courts."
and
Yeah.
this jacket for 40 years.
Yeah. Apparently that's the story. Jared, his father-in-law, got it from someone who did install the 97 court, apparently in Cleveland. And that is why, in theory, he got this signed by MJ, and that's how it then got
Sick.
to his father-in-law, who then gave it to him, who then gave it to me. And you know what?
Court story, bro.
I'm pumped that I'm wearing this today.
Hey, I got a jacket from Jared Dent once upon a time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. NASCAR jacket. Guy's just got weird jackets.
This guy's wearing a jacket.
You'll get one soon.
Yeah.
You'll get
Cool,
one
man.
soon. You might get a I don't know, Lonnie Smith jacket.
Nice Lenny Smith call. Grand Slam, Game 5.
Pick 'em results last night. We had the Cavs-Sixers game. Philly covered. 2.5 points. Got close at the end. Was it Mobley that missed like a bit of a bunny there when it was like a 4-point game? But in the end, Philly wins. Trey 6-5. Tass 5-6. Myself 4-7. What's tonight's game? Only 3 on.
3 on, yeah. Washington, Minnesota. Minnesota's winning that. They're 15-8 in 2023, quietly kicking ass. And there's a TNT doubleheader. Milwaukee, Chicago. Sorry, Bulls, not gonna happen. And then Clippers, Phoenix. That's a big one.
Okay.
Phoenix favored at home by 1.5 points. Skeets and I think Phoenix will cover. While Trey got the Clippers.
Taking the
Lose by
Clips.
1 or win on the road. Yeah.
All right, well, good luck to everybody. This jacket is like, I feel like I'm pushing forward more and more, like it's weighing me down. I don't want to be around anymore. Tweet of the night, let's do it. Yeah! Come on!
Tweet of the night.
Sound like
Wow.
Tassie, what do you got? Take us into the All-Star break, man.
You want to talk about mailing it in? Here we go. This is from Baseball History Nut.
What?
A great follow on Twitter. Here's a tough one for y'all. Name me the top 3 most famous Michael. So the name has to be Michael. Give me the 3 most famous Michaels in
Okay.
the history of the world.
Oh, 2 are obvious.
Yeah, who's
2
the
are
third?
Michael
That's the
Jordan
question.
and Michael Jackson, and then
That's
it's like now
right.
you get into the third one.
Yeah, this is the fun part.
Right. Now, well, you can't go Tyson because
Michael Tyson does not
No one ever
exist.
called him Michael
you
Tyson.
Can have you can
Michael
have fun with that,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not a good answer. Michelangelo, that's funny, but doesn't count.
okay.
Spelled different.
Who do you have, Tass?
It's still spelled Michelangelo.
Michel.
Okay. Well, throw some names out there. I got a whole bunch of lists. All right.
Phelps.
Phelps is interesting. I think he could be part of the answer.
Corleone.
Corleone's a funny one.
Michael
Very funny
Kors?
one. Kors, wow. No Googling, man. No
Kors?
Googling. Don't Google.
Okay, you're right.
Michael.
Anybody else? There's lots of actors.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, interesting.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, I think, might be the answer.
Phelps
Yeah.
over Keaton.
No.
No,
The Olympics.
Olympics?
This is the Olympics.
Yeah, just swimming.
So they're talking about
Keaton,
Batman.
Batman. Been around forever. Phelps is.
Oh,
it's a short
hold on,
window.
hold on. Stream team. Michael Schumacher.
Schumacher's a good one.
That's huge.
Schumacher's decent. Yeah, Schumacher's decent.
Somebody says Magic Mike Muscala. Thank you, EL. Thank you. It's catching
Magic
on.
Michael.
Magic Michael. The Magic Michael Moose Muscala. That's his new nickname. Michael McDonald. Stream team
Everyone-
coming
Sure.
through. That's Schumann.
Which Michaels take it to the streets most often? He's number 1.
That song, by the way, in Pick'em, that's a keeper right there. I like that. It
you
was
like that
smooth,
one?
That was
yacht rock
smooth.
vibes, little Michael McDonald vibes.
It's called Disco Nights, but Nights with a K.
I
That's
like
the
it.
new. I guess that's the new one.
Also,
Michael
a couple
Douglas.
other. Yeah, there's
Yep.
Douglas. A
Yep.
couple other smooth musicians as well. Get you in the mood at Christmas time.
Michael Bublé.
Bublé.
Yep.
And another one out there.
Michael.
He's still around in the pop culture sphere. A bit.
Really?
George Michael.
Nah,
don't know if that counts last names.
Who you got?
like spoofs. Michael Bolton.
Oh, Michael
He's
Bolton.
around.
Michael Bolton.
He's around.
People are
he's got
saying
longevity.
Michael Bolton.
Michael Caine.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Michael
You're not
J.
supposed to blow the bloody doors off. I love the
That was
trip.
pretty good.
That was
pretty
horrible.
good.
I can do way better than that. It's a jacket.
Okay.
I can't talk. My vocal cords don't work.
Yeah, you guys named most of them.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Yeah.
Good Michael.
Did we say that one? That was a good
No.
one.
Yeah. Michael Johnson is an Olympian.
Not even
nah,
close.
that was a short window. Michael Scott. Michael Myers. That's about it. You got them all.
All right. I would go of all of those. Wow. Phelps is good. Schumacher's really good too. Michael Keaton is Batman.
niche.
Michael Keaton is Batman, and he's coming back as Batman apparently.
That's the thing. Michael Keaton was Batman, and there's been like 10 Batman since. If we're talking 90s, I'm going Schumacher or Keaton.
Okay.
Probably Schumacher over Keaton.
Or Fox. I mean, Michael J. Fox was pretty big in the 80s.
That's definitely true. Definitely true.
Shawn Michaels?
Never had a President Michael, huh?
Really?
I don't think so. Michael B. Hayes? Michael Lincoln? No. Michael Washington? Michael Quincy Adams? Michael F. Kennedy? Michael D. Eisenhower?
They all sound like they work.
Yeah, sure.
As someone who doesn't know a lot about American presidents, I'm like, yep, I remember that one. All right. Fun. Hey, great.
That was good.
Tass. Those are the ones I love. Really sink our teeth into. I just wanted the audio listener to hear the jacket before we say goodbye. All right, that's it for us. Join us tomorrow night, Friday night in Salt Lake City. Can't wait to hang out with everybody that's got a ticket. You still have a little bit of time if you want to grab one, and you're in the Salt Lake City area, you live there, or you're coming for All-Star Weekend, maybe a last-minute decision. Come hang on Friday night, 8 p.m. at the Urban Lounge. We'll flip that into a podcast, very likely. So sometime on Friday night, for all you podcast listeners, it won't go to YouTube, so make sure you seek that one out. We will be back here in the factory on Monday morning to recap All-Star Weekend. But I would encourage you to follow us on all the social media channels. We're talking your Twitters, your Instagrams, your TikToks. Anything else?
YouTube, I mean.
YouTube, yeah, absolutely YouTube. At No Dunks Inc., because we're hopefully going to be pumping out the content all weekend long. Killer Boots, man.
Killer Boots. Who's the third most famous Michael?
Oh, good question.
On Michael Jordan's birthday? Not bad.
Right. You see, he just gave, was it
$10 million to Make-A-Wish?
Mm-hmm. Think he's good for it?
Yeah, I think he's got it.
All right, guys. So we'll see you over the weekend. We'll see you live in Salt Lake City, or we'll see you here on Monday in the Classic Factory. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, Strahan, good one. Also, we're not on Snapchat.
Brace the weekend, people. Brace the All-Star Weekend.